Now, I guess with capital gains tax, it's a function of what your incomes actually are, and it's a function of what tax rate your incomes actually put you in. So in this case, if you're over $80,000, you're in a certain particular tax rate. If you're under $80,000, you're in a particular tax rate, and so on. But just to keep it simple, okay, without getting into the marginal rates of tax and whatnot. Obviously, the higher your income is, the higher marginal rate of tax you're in, and the lower your income, the lower tax rate you are. So capital gains tax is a function of your incomes. Okay. So in your case, with a person on $150,000, okay, and you go and put $150,000 into your tax return with your other income, you've got a tax bill of on the actual your share of the capital gain of $59,350. Okay. As far as that was for Tony. Sorry, it was $59,000, and for Nada, it's $67,350. So you can see we've got a capital gains tax bill of $126,700 on a profit of $600,000. Okay, so is everyone pretty much clear on that so far? Okay, so they bought the property through the traditional way, sold it, made a profit of $600,000. Half is tax-free, the other half has to go into their tax returns. Okay, they go into their tax returns, and that's the tax bill that their accountant pretty much told them. Okay, now what I want to do now is use the exact same property and go through and build the actual scenario of you buying that property through a self-managed superannuation fund that you pretty much want to want to administer and control yourself. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we need to do, is actually set up the self-managed superannuation fund. Okay. So at the moment, we've got Nada over here and Tony over here. Tony, at the moment, where would your superannuation fund be sitting? Where would your superannuation money be sitting?
It's with Australian Super.
Okay, so
about 50,000.
Australian Super. And $50,000 is currently sitting in that fund.
Yep.
And for Nada?
Nada's, I think yours is compressed.
I have no idea.
She's got a lot more than me.
Oh, okay. She's got 100,000?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So at the moment, they don't have a self-managed super fund. They've got their respective super funds managing their money for them. They still want to buy this property. Okay, so they've rang their accountant and said, excuse me, accountant, we're just about to buy a property, and $600,000 is what it's going to cost. What advice can you give us? So my advice would simply be, consider, especially based on what balances you have and also on your income, consider using the structure of buying the property within your self-managed superannuation fund as a buying it the traditional way. Okay, you're looking at actually wanting to buy it for investment purposes for the long term and so on and so on. But as I said, as we build the actual case study going forward, the benefits will start to speak for themselves. All right, so the first thing that we need to do to start to put the whole structure together is we have to actually open up a trustee company to actually administer the superannuation fund. Okay, that becomes more the, I guess, the entity that I guess it becomes the actual god of the superannuation fund. Okay, but remember, by law, both of you, so Tony and Nada, are the directors of that superannuation fund. Okay, so no longer is Rest and Australian Super managing your money, and no longer are their respective trustee companies administering Rest and Australian Super. You are now starting to actually get control of your money, and this particular trustee company, we call it whatever else, you know, Nada and Tony, Super Proprietary Limited, okay, whatever name that's available, that becomes the trustee company for your self-managed superannuation fund. And you are the two directors, because by law, whoever is a member of the super fund has to also be a director of the actual superannuation fund, of the trustee